media influences your mood so heavily. Alright, today is December 3rd, okay? I wanted to make this video today to talk about how media influences mood, personality, and what you buy, okay? And I think the heaviest one I'm going to be focusing on is mood, because, like, I see that a lot through myself, and personality through myself, too. Because, like, the copy and pasting, it's hard not to. Well, I'm going to start off with what you buy first, because I feel like that's the smallest piece, right, compared to the other two. What you buy, you may not realize it, but so much of the things that you buy are influenced by, like, social media, right? Think about, like, whenever you're scrolling, or, like, not even, like, scrolling, like, doom scrolling, just, like, even through YouTube, or, like, like a Twitter feed or something, you're seeing some sort of ad, usually. And in those ads, you might see, like, a product or two that actually seems interesting. But how useful is that product? Probably not that useful, like, at all. You're probably going to buy it anyway, just because, you know, A, it's cool, you know, might be, like, useful to, like, pass up some free time whenever I'm by myself, yada, yada, right? So, basically, already, social media is already, like, boofing your bank account. So you're already buying bullshit that you don't need, okay? And if we go over to personality, right, a lot of the random shit that you see online, right, like, I'd say for me, the biggest thing for me is, like, brain rot, right? Like, a lot of my humor has turned brain rot over time, just because the more I get invested in, like, seeing the same shit over and over again, the more it becomes, like, oh, you know, maybe this is funny. And then I just start reiterating it. And I just think that happens to a lot of people. I think it only happens to a majority of people that have, like, heavier screen times. Because with a lower screen time amount, realistically, you're not going to be, like, seeing these things. Like, with a lower screen time amount, you are not going to be looking at, or not looking necessarily, but you're not going to be hearing, like, stupid shit, like the Italian brain rot shit, or, like, the Rizzler. You know, like, shit like that, you're not going to be like, if you have, like, 2 hours of screen time a day, you're not going to be like, oh, yeah, that's funny, I know who that is, or I know what that is, right? You're going to be like, what the fuck are you saying? That's how I kind of see it reflected in myself, but try to stay original with that shit, I will say, because it gets to a point, like, even, I can still see this in myself. Whenever I'm telling jokes that are, like, reiterations of what I see online, it gets stale so fast. Like, trust me, it gets stale incredibly fast. And it's not that funny. It's funny to think about, right? Because you're just, like, saying bullshit with your friends, yada yada. But try to get original over time. You know, try not to reiterate that shit. I have a bad habit of just being like, oh, I found this one thing funny and now I'm gonna spam it for, like, fucking a week and a half, right? And it's just like, holy shit, when is this guy gonna stop? And then the last thing I'll talk about is mood, okay? Media influences your mood so heavily, okay? Like, you may not realize it, but whenever you're scrolling, or I'd say mostly scrolling, because you wouldn't really see this as much as, like, long-form content, but on short-form content, whatever you're feeding your mind, right, you're gonna see more of, and that's what your mood is gonna be. You're seeing a lot of sad shit, a lot of sad content, that's gonna be all that you see. All you see is gonna be sad shit, and you're just gonna be, like, down in the dumps, right? You're gonna be super hard on yourself and be like, oh, whatever, yada yada, I'm such a failure, whatever, right? But if you're seeing happy shit, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, this is great, I'm happy, my life is, like, the best, blah, 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 blah. You know, you're going to look on the bright side, be grateful for what you have, right? And then this goes into music as well. I'm not telling you to switch up what you're listening to, but I am saying switch up how often you are listening to sadder music if you have a tendency of listening to sad music. Because it's like, whatever you feed your brain, like I just said, it gets ingrained in your head. So you're just going to be like Debbie Downer all the time, because that's all you're feeding yourself, is just so much negativity. And so I want to say, try to put some happy music inside of your playlists, number one. You know, listen to some shit that, like, either gets you in a good mood or gets you hype about your day, like, whatever, right? And then also, try, like, don't fry your dopamine receptors just by, like, mindlessly scrolling. But if you do scroll, don't scroll and then like all the sad shit, because then that sad shit's just going to get ingrained in your brain, okay? So what I'm going to leave this off with is try to be smarter with what you feed your brain on social media. Holy shit, the sun is so bright. Try to put some better videos in your recommended, because the longer that you have those shitty videos that are like, oh, my life is so butt, the more you're going to be like, oh, my life is butt, right? But try to get those hype videos that are like, let's go, today's going to be a great day, because then your day is going to be great.